Alright, what's up guys? This is Mark from Team 5HC, and I'm here bringing you a deck profile and a mini tournament report. So I recently switched decks. I did play the Azel Platina, and or the Pretzel, as some people call it, and I did like it, and I still do like it actually, and I don't think there's anything wrong with the deck. The only thing about me though personally is that sometimes I get bored, so I feel the need to switch up from time to time just to keep things interesting. And I don't get bored of the game actually, I just get bored of the deck that I'm playing. And that goes for a lot of things, like if I play like online game, sometimes I get bored with the character and I'll just re-roll and make something else, Anyways, that's besides the point. Anyways, now I am playing Kagero, or aka Kagero the End. And yeah, this deck has been working out pretty nicely, especially after learning how to play it and like how to make it more fit my playstyle. And that was another thing. Gold Paladin is more of a powerhouse, less control, more of attacking, going for fast damage, and end the game quicker. Whereas Kagero, I feel, is I can play it either that way or play it more of a pressure build, and I am playing a more of a pressure build. Anyways, let's get right into it. This is the starter, Conroe. Absolutely broken. Probably the most broken card in this deck. It's a toolbox. Help me search for whatever grade 1 I want. So, of course, it depends on the situation. So, yeah. I'll explain some combos at the end that I feel really good as well. Anyways. So, that's the starter, Conroe. I do play 4 of the ends. 1, 2, 3, 4. His skill is really good. I think if you're watching this, you should know his skill already. But if you don't, Counter Blast 2, Persona Blast. If the attack hits, stand him up, and you do keep your turn drive. So it's an instant plus whenever you get this effect off. And the fact that he gets to stand again and attack, just more pressure on for them to block. Basically, if a good player will know never to let Phantom Blaster Lord, Dragonic Overlord. Basically, a good player will always block his attacks. Even if they're at low damage, they'll always block it, so they'll never get the plus. But for me, as I see it, I still think that's a plus in my favor because you're blocking an attack that you didn't really need to attack at the time, and you're dropping cards when you should be keeping them. Anyways, that's the main heart. And he is a cross ride, so of course I am playing 4 Dragonic Overlords. Standard. Now on the grade 2s, I play 4 Burning Horn Dragons. This is standard. It's your 12k attacker. When you have Dragonic Overlord as your vanguard, standard there. Here's where things get a little different. I'm playing 4 Nahalem, and the reason why I'm playing 4 is because in this meta there's a lot of cross rides. That's the first reason. So you want to hit 18k easily to hit them, so it's at least a 10k shield. And also because this is a pressure build, so by having more power means more cards they have to drop to block him. So that's why I play 4. So of course when I play 4 of him, I'm also playing 2 cross shots. The reason why I'm playing 2 is because I am running 1 Berserk Dragon. First I'll explain the cross shots. I could be running 3 of these, 3 Berserk Dragons, but for the same reason as Nahalem, I want to be adding more pressure, more damage. I always get the question, why are you running him? Why are you running him? Why aren't you running Tejas or more Berserk Dragons or Belliscosity? I don't feel the need to damage on flip. I can control my flipping really well. If I get a heal, I can always, if I get a heal, I can always return that flip damage and heal that. Or, just keep steady of your counter blast, because you're not always going to get the end off, and you're not always going to get Dragonic Overlord off, and you're not always going to get, those cards off. But these, if you haven't by that time at the end of the game, there's always a situation for him. And I do think he is situational, so that's why I'm only taking in 1. I felt the need, Counter Blast, as you said, this is a Counter Blast heavy deck, or as I said earlier. So I feel 1 is good, 2 is good too, but for me, I just like taking it. I like the option. I don't always have to use them. So regardless of whether this gets milled or whether I, or consistency, adding more for consistency, I don't feel the need. I feel like 1 has done plenty for me, especially in today's tournament. Now going to grade 1s. Got the 4 Bari, your perfect guards, standard. 4 Bar, 8K boosters, standard. Here's where things get different. I play 3 Heat now. Like I said earlier, this is a pressure build, so I want them to be blocking these, even though this is a low attack, and yes, they can potentially take it. But what he does is, if the attack hits the Vanguard, I can retire grade 1. Middle to late game, that is very hard. Grade 1s are harder to replace than grade 2s, your boosters, you know. So that's why I play 3. Sometimes, you know, you ride it, or sometimes it's in the damage zone. I do play 3 for consistency. So yeah, I feel 2 is good as well. So if you wanted to play 2 is totally fine. But I prefer 3. I like him, and you know, I'm not playing Kagero. I think the cost is too much for what it does when I can just do it for free with him. And of course, you know, this will make them block, or because Kagero is just gonna make it die, which is, you know, you can see it in both ways. But I like it this way. I play 2 Gojo. I personally actually only feel the need for 1. I play 2. Mostly, you know, just for consistency, but I do only feel the need to play 1, so if I was trying to switch something out for something, I would probably take this out first, before anything. You know, it's always good to ride him, but you don't always need him. Yeah. And I play 1 Arrow. I think Arrow is infinitely times better than Gojo. The only way Gojo is better is because, 1, he's 7K compared to 6K, and 2, you can ride him and get his skill off, you know, first turn. But I think she's so much better, and I only play 1 because she's searchable by Kagero. Kagero is an amazing card, and Kagero can toolbox me any card I need, and if my hand is bad, I will most likely toolbox for her. And she does add pressure as well, you know. They're going to be forced to block this if they don't want you to search, and, you know, that can be, you know, the difference between a win and loss for some people. So, trigger lineup. I play standard 4 heals. I actually play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 draw. My reasoning for 6 draw, it's honestly just to speed up the deck. And this has an amazing, amazing effect. I love this effect. Just because of his effect, I'll play, you know, I'll play more. I mean, I'll play 4 draw regardless of whatever the rest are. I'll always play 4 draw because of Gatling Claw. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Kind of last 1, retire grade 0. This is really good against Spike Brothers, against, you know, Mirror Match, Conroe, Narukami. What's Gold Paladins, especially with the Superior Ride. Oh, number 1. Yep. So I play 6. And I am a stand player. Play 6 stand in this build. I am honestly thinking, or I played 6 crit at first, and then I started playing stand because of his effect. Basically, he's just like Heat Nail, except it's grade 0, and it's a trigger. So I mean, it's good to play both. So now I have grade 0 retires and grade 1 retires, and I have that optional Berserk Dragon if I ever need to retire. A grade 2. So I play stand, and stand versus crit, that debate can go on for a long time, but I play stand mainly because, you know, it applies more pressure and it forces more guard. Whereas crit, it's more of a, in this deck at least, it's more of a, if it happens, I'll get the damage. But with stand, it's either I get the damage or they're going to drop cards, which is an advantage in both ways. So that's why I play stand, and it does add more pressure, especially with these effects right here, the Flame Seed. Yeah. So that's why I play stand. Crit, honestly, is good too. I don't see I don't see anything wrong with crit, but I'm playing stand because of the pressure. I like applying pressure, and it's just more to my playstyle. I love crit though. Don't get me wrong. You know, seeing them at 4 damage, no guard, and then you crit for game. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. But honestly, this just applies a lot of pressure. Because say you get this turn 1, they're usually not going to guard because it's their first damage. You retire their grade 0. boom. It's an amazing card. There's no reason not to play. I mean, of course, it's a preference, but there's if you're playing stand, this is an amazing card. So yeah, so I'll do a mini tournament report. Game 1 was against the Blood. Beat him 2-0. First game is pretty easy. I used Conroe to search, because I knew I was versing the Blood. I used Conroe to search for a perfect guard, and just played it safe until he used his Thunderbolt with the Blood, because of course it's going to come out. He just perfect guard that, and then I was smooth sailing after that. Game 2, I just did a lot of field control by attacking rear guards. A lot of people, I mean, it's always good to attack rear guards, just regardless of the damage difference. Of course, you always want to stay within 1 or 2 damage between you and your opponent, but if you attack rear guards, they have less to attack with. Which means less for you to block with, and also more for them to replace. So yeah, that's why I like this deck and its field control with cards like him and cards like Heat Nail Salamander. Always good. Yeah. So pretty much just field control and one from there. Round 2 I played against MLB. Game 1, I actually think this player is really smart. He was a young kid, but he was really, really smart, and he got me, honestly. So what happened, the way I lost Game 1, it went all the way to Game 3, by the way. Game 1, he got set up, or he didn't get set up, he got it set up in his hand, and he saved it. And I put him to 5 damage, and he had no rear guards after my turn. After the turn, I put him to 5 damage. And the turn before that, the way I guarded was, I guarded because I used a perfect guard. Well, first, of course, I searched for a perfect guard because I knew I was versing MLB with Conroe's skill. But what happened was, he knew that I searched for the perfect guard, so he saved his effect. He waited until after I used the perfect guard. I thought he wasn't going to use it. I felt like it was too late for him to use it for it to matter. And I was only at 4 damage. And I killed all his rear guards, so I used the perfect guard. And I ended up wasting it because the next turn he played his like last 3 cards after the draw. He played Blaster Dark, Blaster Blader, and he boosted his Vanguard. He attacked, I took it, and he activated, and there was nothing I can do because I was really low on cards, which is also why I used the perfect shield. Yeah, and he got me Game 1. Game 2, he was grade locked, I believe, and I just won. Oh no, that was Game 3. Game 2, I just flat out stomped, controlled everything. Everything was my control. Game 3, he was grade locked, which is sad, but he was grade locked at 2. Yeah, so it wasn't too bad, but yeah. Grade lock's never fun though, I can't complain. Game 3, Gold Paladins, pretty much 2-0'd him. Game 1, he was grade locked. Game 2, it wasn't too hard. It was just a control game for me. Yeah. Game 4, we were both 3-0, so we just rolled for the game, and I ended up winning the roll. Then my top 4 match, I actually lost, and I got 2-0'd. It was versus this really good player. He's a Neo Nectar player, and I wasn't reading cards. I blocked really high, and I was trying too hard to control the field, and I wasn't controlling damage as properly as I should have been, because I was focusing way too much on field control. So that's what got me Game 1 and actually Game 2. I didn't realize that I could I can do so much more damage, and causing him to actually use his field. And yeah, so I messed up in both those games, but I realized how I messed up, so it was good to catch. So yeah, overall good day, and I enjoyed playing this deck, and I do want to keep playing this deck for a while. It sucks thinking about set 12 after that comes out, what I'm gonna play, or set excuse me, set 11. Figuring out what to play after that, it's gonna be pretty hard after playing such a fun deck like this. Yeah, and that's all. This is Mark T from Team 5HC signing out. I hope you enjoyed this. Peace.